Hi, my name is Nina. I'm part of the speakers team at YHS 2026. I have the pleasure to introduce Burak. Well, actually, he's going to introduce himself.
I'll introduce myself. Why not? My name is Burak Ipekci. I'm the head concierge in Royal Horseguards in London, but also I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the General Secretary for Les Clefs on a global scale. And I'm here to support the students and take part in YHS in 2026 edition. For
those who might not know this world of high-level concierge service, what does your role involve?
Cool. Are we talking more as a concierge, or are we talking more as a Secretary General for Les Clefs?
It's both.
Both. Okay, so without being an active concierge working at a hotel, I cannot be a member. If I'm not a member, I cannot serve on the leadership. So they're all interlinked. So that's why, as I introduce myself, I literally do two jobs at the same time. So I have my responsibilities at the hotel. I'm fortunate enough to have an incredible team of 12 people working for me. In the European model, unlike the US model, other than the concierge team, the porters, luggage porters, and the doorman report to me as well. In the US model, it's different. It's only the concierge team reports to chef concierge. But for Clés d'Or, for the general secretary role, well, I got 3,437 members in 88 countries in 4 corners of the world. So I am responsible for the correspondence for the organization. I am responsible for the communication for the organization. I am responsible for running the meetings, organizing all the agendas, and pretty much everything under the sunshine. And there to support the rest of the executive team and the section presidents.
That sounds so interesting.
Keeps me busy, and that's for sure.
If we start from the beginning, what first made you fall in love with concierge work?
Well, that's a funny story in the sense that I have been in the hotel business since I was 17. And I got into the business as a guest service individual, but as a summer job. And what I didn't realize is that at the end of the month, while I was having all this fun with people, talking to people, I actually was getting paid as well. So I'm like, okay, that's a nice little bonus. But my journey into concierge was in 1999 when I went to apply for a reception role at Hilton, New York. And for those who are familiar with the property, it's the largest hotel property in New York City. And during my time, it was 2,086 rooms. Instead of a reception role, I was offered a concierge. And I happily took it. And I didn't look back. Every other task around the hotel has a product, right? Now, if you're housekeeping, you're dealing with the room-related issues. If you're in the kitchen, you're cooking. If you're in the restaurant, you're serving. But you always have a tangible product in your hands. We are fortunate enough as concierges, we are the only department who's there solely to make the guests smile. We don't have a tangible product. We're not selling anything. We're not giving anything to them in exchange for money. In fact, because of that, certain GMs, certain industry leaders look at concierge as a non-revenue generating department because we literally do not have a tangible product that we give to the guest. For us, it's all about service. For us, it's all about that individualized, personalized time with the guest. So if you are interested in people, what is there not to love, right? I do what I do, and at the end of the month, my employer says, "You did a great job. Here's your check. Thank you." It's as simple as that.
So you found your place, the right environment.
I even left the business for about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I originally got my keys in New York, as I mentioned earlier on.
Yeah.
And in 2005, I relocated to London. And when I first relocated to London, I stayed away from business for a while. I needed a break. But it is like a drug addiction. Once you enjoy that high of solving people's problems, assisting them, making them happy, that's a different level of satisfaction. So, just like a drug addict, I came back.
And you work with some of the most demanding travelers in the world. What do most hotels still misunderstand about ultra high-end guests?
Time. That's what they don't understand. Somebody who has that much net worth can get their hands on anything. At the end of the day, 99% of the time, money solves all the problems. Okay, you can afford it, you can get your hands on it. But what they cannot buy is time. It is very common for me to see my regular guests in the lobby sit down, have a cup of coffee with them. Because time, they can't buy it. That attention, that individual moment, that dedicated moment just for them. So that's what they don't understand, in my humble opinion, of course.
Yeah. And through your services, you're saving them time as well.
I'm saying that's a different side of the story, of course. I mean, we, as concierge community, we always say this: as long as it's legal and moral, and the guest who's requesting that item or that service can afford it, there's always a way. Either I would know directly someone, or I can reach out to someone that I know who can provide that service. So it is sometimes obtaining the unattainable, sometimes getting that reservation that they always wish for but they couldn't get their hands on, sometimes hunting a product that they wanted to buy but they couldn't get through contacts. But sometimes, and for me, my favorite part is literally just sitting down and building that relationship. That's why a lot of the times we are the only department who knows the guest's name, their wife's name, their children's names, and have that long-term relationship. I mean, personally, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure I'm not alone in the community. One of my former guests, she's godmother to my younger son. And one of my former guests, as I've known her since she was a teenager, I walked her down the aisle because her father was unwell when she got married. So it's a privilege. What we do is something extraordinary. That's why you a lot of times do not hear a concierge, a seasoned, loving, dedicated concierge leaving their role to become a director of rooms or a hotel manager, a director of ops. In a way, we're kind of, I don't want to call it uninterested in that, but equally there's so much satisfaction in what we do if you are truly a people person that you don't even think that it's an option.
In a world of AI and automation, what part of concierge service must stay deeply human?
Everything. I am old enough to say this. You guys can ignore that part, okay? I'm revealing my age. I come from a generation where internet was at its infancy when I became a concierge. And I remember everybody, all my colleagues, literally losing their minds. Oh, it's the end of the concierge world. It's the end of we're done. Our profession is dead. No, it's a tool. Same right now. Oh, AI, blah, blah, we're dead. AI, no, it's a tool. It is doing some of the mundane stuff that we're expected to do and freeing my time so I can spend time with my guests. That's my tool. Simplest example, and let's give a tangible example from industry giants, right? Forbes Travel Guide. One of their pillars is if it's an in-house request, response goes back to the guest within 2 hours. If it's an out-of-property request, a future request, the response goes back in 24 hours. If you set up your mechanism in place for that to happen without you worrying about it, that's time saved. The guest feels looked after, their questions are answered, even if it's just a quick, we will get back to you in 24 hours response, done, no stress. So I can just go and invest that time into the happiness of my guests. That's what I'm there for. Because seeing my guest happy makes me happy.
But how do you make those answers still personalized? Like we get back to you in 24 hours.
That's why you don't simply rely on AI.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have the human element. Like when again, going back to my late 90s, early days in the business example, you used to walk into the lobby, there would be 5 concierges and there would be 15 people at the reception. Now the technology is so advanced that the guest checks themselves in on an app. They don't even stop at the reception to get a room key because they can get access to their room on their phone. When they check out, the system automatically spits out the bill and emails it to them, automated. So you walk into the same lobby now, that 15 receptionists became only 5 because the system's automatic. But you still have the 5 concierge over there because now we became instead of the service provider, we became the curator of experience. So in my earlier days, we used to put together these long-winded itineraries for guests. Now we became the curators of information because all the guests go, it's like, the best restaurants to go in London. They all look at the same top 10 restaurants or top 20 restaurant list. And then they come and say, which one out of this 10 you can get me into tomorrow night party of 2 at 8? That's my responsibility to gauge that individual, understand their needs, what they're after, what they're going there for, and out of that list, figure out the 2 or 3 that might work for them, and through my contacts, provide that service and get it done. So all that admin stuff that happens in the background, AI can do that. But the finishing touches always has to be personal, because AI doesn't know the maitre d' at that restaurant to get that table for me. Only I do.
So you still feel very useful in 2026 as
Not
a
useful,
concierge?
essential,
yeah.
more than ever, because a lot of things have gotten automated. I believe we're at a sort of a fork in the road. I think in the coming handful of years, the accommodation business is going to split into two. One side is going to be bed and TV, sort of a sleep business, and the other is going to be hotel. And but hotel requires experience. You cannot provide experience without people, without humans. It became even more essential than ever before. I mean, look, we've been around since 1929 in France. We're just about to celebrate our 100th birthday as an institution. I think we've seen a war or two or five, financial crisis, hotels closing, hotels opening, regions expanding, pandemics. We're still here. And there's a reason for that.
How do you see the best concierge in 10 years?
As I just said, I think the more time they can make for their guests, to create that organic relationship, to be able to invest the time in the happiness of the guest, that's a successful concierge. But that even applies to today. But with the advancement of the technology, even more mundane tasks, for lack of a better term, is going to be taken away from us, in that we can focus more on the guest.
Can you explain a bit more about what's the behind the scene of Les Clefs d'Or network, like how does it works?
Oh Lord, where do I begin? We are, the line that I always use, let me just start with that. We are not a secret society, we're a society with secrets. Okay, everybody has a black book, little black book in their pocket. We all have our network. But beyond that, it's and I don't mean this in a sort of sexist way, but it's a brotherhood. It's literally a sense of camaraderie. We all look after one another. Globally, we have WhatsApp groups. Locally, we have WhatsApp groups, and it's not unheard of for somebody dropping your lines like, guys, I need this. Does anybody have a contact here or there? And we support one another. So, I will use that later on. Grand Budapest Hotel, the classic scene where concierges calling one after another, and then sending the car to pick up Mr. Gustave. That actually is as accurate as it gets. That's how it functions, because our motto itself is in service through friendship, and that's how we function. There's no other way. I mean, we're all sort of a fun-loving, people-interested extroverts. So as we get a kick out of serving our guests and seeing them happy, we equally do so with our colleagues, with our comrades, so to say. So it is a fantastic institution. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of the 3 oldest hospitality institutions in the world in history. As I said, I mean, we started as a local organization in France in 1929. We're just about to celebrate our 100th birthday in the coming few years. And as an international institution, we've been around since 1952. So, yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. I love being a concierge. Just in case if it's not already obvious enough.
As a last question, what is one thing every hospitality student should learn from the concierge mindset?
Love what you do. Love what you do. Hospitality is a funny business. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of moving parts in a hotel. There's a lot of moving parts in the business, and the business changes all the time. Love what you do, and let that enthusiasm, that joy, be the driving force behind what you do in this business. Otherwise, you can't survive anyway, because this business will eat you up and spit you out before you can say hopscotch. It's an intense business, because it's a people business. Of course, we have products, by all means, the bed, the TV, the restaurants, and so on and so forth, but it's people business. So if you're really genuinely not invested in it, not interested in it, not having fun with it, it will eat you alive. So enjoy what you do. Love what you do.
Well, thank you so much for your time and this interview.